So something happened today. One of my pupils asked me a question that just got me thinking. So he asked me if truly human beings are higher animals. You know how we were taught in science that we humans, we are higher animals. And you know, I had to just, explain from my own standpoint as a believer. I know that is not true, of course. So I just had to just tell the child that, of course, biology, science will tell you that human beings are higher animals. But then, as a believer, who knows who she is and who God has called her to be? I know that is not true. It was even funny. We got into like this discussion, and my one of my pupils was telling me that, but we're really higher animals. We have tails, like we evolved from having tails. Those things we were taught. That is why we have backbones. And I was like, how can you even believe something like that? I now asked her. I said, a cow would give birth to what? She said, a cow. So a cow would give birth to a cow. A dog would give birth to a dog, right? So I said, so if God is your father, so who do you think you are? Are you an animal? Is God an animal? He said, no. If God is my father, that means I'm God. I said, that is it. So that's the answer to your question. Do you understand? So if science is telling you that you're an higher animal, you should know that that is not the truth. That is not the truth. God is your father. That means you are God. And that is why the Bible says that you are gods. All of you are children of the Most High. But then he went ahead to say, but because you do not know that you are God, you will die like mere men. And that is sad. I think it's high time we begin to question those things we've, been made to believe, but they are not the truth. And the age of a lie does not make it to be true. You know that, right? Because something has been, talked about for so long, something has been, sold out to us for so long to be the truth. That does not make that thing to be true. So every day I'm just so grateful that one day at a time I'm about to, talk about these things. I'm about to, I'm able to, talk about these things. I'm able to, change their orientations, help them to see things in the true light of it. So I just concluded by saying, of course, you are a student. So if your biology teacher teaches you that you're an higher animal, and then you have a question, to answer, of course, you put that down to answer the question. But in your mind, you know the truth. You know that you are not an animal. You know that you are God, because your father is God. And a goat does not give birth to a lizard. So God cannot give birth to an animal. If God is your father and you are his child, you are his son, that means you are also God. So that is it for today. I'll see you next time. Bye.